Hi Flosstube, it's Lindsay and welcome back to Blushing Pink Stitches. This is Flosstube number 10, I believe. This is a channel all about cross stitch, well primarily anyway. I'm just going to be talking about cross stitch today. So hello, welcome back. If you're returning to my channel, I really appreciate it. And if you're new here, then welcome. I hope you like what you see and that you'll stick around to see some more videos from me. So today we're going to talk a little bit about what's been going on over the last couple of weeks. I believe it's been 2 weeks since I last filmed a video. I'm going to show you what I've been doing for Mania so far, and then I'm going to show you some things that I have bought. I think they're the main things. And if I remember anything else, we'll sort of go through along the way. But yeah, a bit of a life update. The weather in the UK, so it's Saturday the 14th of May today. And we've had some really lovely weather, especially this week. It seems to have warmed up, the sun's come out, and we finally seem to be getting some more spring/summer weather, which is really lovely to see. It was my birthday yesterday, so that was really lovely. Had a nice day. I saw some friends in the afternoon for a coffee, and then we always open presents when we're all together. So Stefan got home from work and we did presents and we had a nice dinner in the evening, and it was just a really lovely day. And so I do have some cross stitch bits to show you that I got for my birthday, so I'll show you those later on in the video. Yeah, it was really exciting opening my presents. It was just so lovely. So yeah, I've actually spent the day today doing some training for some marking I'm going to be starting on Monday, and I've got some more training tomorrow, so a bit of a jam-packed weekend. But I finished and I thought I will film my Flosstube video because, sorry, I'm just looking down at the camera at her. She's supposed to be sleeping, but she hasn't managed to get off to sleep yet, so we'll see. Yeah, I've lost my train of thought. What was I saying? I don't know. I've completely forgotten. Anyway, so yeah. So I'm going to show you what I've been working on first of all. I shared with you in my last video my plans for Stitch Maynia. I kind of had a plan to work on some whips and to work on some new starts at the weekends. So work on some whips on a Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and then a new start on a Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And that's because Friday is one of my days off, so it's just nice to start the weekend off then. So yeah, so we're going to start with, I don't have any finishes or anything, although I sort of do, but we'll talk about that later. We'll start with, I've got to find it first. Obviously you can see I'm super organised. Nope. Is it that one? It's this one. Okay, so I started off on Sunday the 1st of May. So it was a Sunday, but I thought I'm not going to do a new start and just work on it for one day. So I thought I'd just start May with my first whip, working on the Fox by Cottage Garden Samplings. And this is being stitched on a piece of 32 count pearl grey linen from Zweigart. And I'm using all the called for threads. And this is how far I've got with him. So I've done quite a bit actually. I said when I was talking about plans I'd like to finish off his face, and then I realised that actually that was under ambitious target. And so I finished his face, and then I came across and did this little cabin here, and then I started on his tail. I would have had an extra day on him, but I got distracted by something which I'll tell you in a second. But he's looking really, really good. So I'm really pleased with him. I had a lovely email from, I can't remember her name. Let me see if I can quickly have a look at what her name was. I'm so sorry. Was it Jill? Yes, I think it was Jill. Yeah, so one of my subscribers called Jill sent me an email saying that she'd seen my video where I was talking about how I wasn't that happy with the variegated floss that's used in here for his markings. And she sent me a lovely email sort of saying that she'd been watching the video and she'd been stitching on the fox, and she'd used all DMC, and she sent me a picture of what it looked like, and it looked really, really good. So I think if I stitch some more of these, then I will definitely be using the DMC rather than the variegated floss. And that's not to say I won't use variegated floss in general. I just think for these patterns, I will be more satisfied if I'm just using the variegated. So I'm going to write myself a little note because I've just seen something. You know when you see things and you're like, oh, I meant to do that, whoops. Yeah, so I just write myself a little note for things fly out of my head all the time. If I don't do them immediately, or if I haven't written it down, it doesn't get done basically. So yeah, that's how far I got on the fox. So I worked on the fox for 4 days, and I would have worked on it for another day, but my stuff came for the Animal House stitch along by Satsuma Street. So I told you last time that I bought the pattern, and the first release was, well, they released it before I'd got all of my stuff. Was it the 28th or the 26th of April? It was I think it might have been the 28th. Something like that anyway. They're releasing parts every 2 weeks. So my fabric came and my flosses came for that. So basically I was just really excited about it, so I decided to start it. And like I said, the second part has come out for this so far. Am I going to be able to show you this successfully? I will put a picture on the screen of what parts 1 and 2 look like. But this is how far I managed to get, and I've got a thread hanging, so I do apologise, in the 1 day I was working on it. Just put a piece of paper behind it. So you start in the bottom left and then work your way up. So this is the side of the first house sort of thing. And this is being stitched on, so I feel really cat-handed today, like I don't know, anyway. On a piece of 28 count Cashel linen, and it's the raw linen, and I really like the colour of this. It's something that I wouldn't have chosen to use, but this was one of the suggested fabrics, so I went with it, and I'm really pleased with it so far. I think the colours are really popping on it, so I definitely use it again. So yeah, that's how far we got with that one. So I'm not up to date on this one at all. And I'm not really sure what I'm going to do in terms of moving forward. I might just have to wait until June, when like Stitch Maynia is over, to sort of try and catch up a bit more on it. But I don't have to be on time with stitch alongs. I'm definitely not on that one. And then on the Friday, so Friday the 6th of May, I started my first new start of Stitch Maynia, and that was a free pattern from the Fat Quarter Shop, and this is called Candy Hearts. So I'm showing, I don't have like a picture, I just have the chart, but it's free. I'll link it. I'll link all the patterns that I talk about down below. And I stitched these individually. When I first started kitting this up, I thought it might be a nice idea to stitch the hearts on one piece of fabric, almost like in a heart shape with the 5 of them, because there are 5 different colour choices. but then I decided actually I didn't like that idea, so I was going to stitch each one individually on just some 14 count white Ada, and then I would finish them as little pillows or something like that. So over the course of that weekend, I managed to finish 4 of them. So I started with the purple one, and then I did the yellow one, which when you compare the two, I think this might be 16 count. It doesn't look different when you line them up against each other, but yeah. And then I did the green one, and then I did the blue one. These were so quick to stitch up, like a couple of hours of stitching per one, not even that really. And they were really easy stitching because there's lots of blocks of colour. So yeah, and they're just, I really like the colours in them. So the only one I've got left to do is the pink one. So when that comes up again in my rotation, I'll do the pink one, and that will be an FO on those. So yeah, I would really recommend that. It's definitely something nice to put up and display for Valentine's Day as well. But it's just a really sweet pattern in general, really. So that's that. And then this Monday, so Monday the 9th of May, I worked on, and up until Thursday, I worked on Fruits of Plenty by Modern Folk Embroidery. So this was the 2021 stitch along, but I didn't discover it until the end of 2021. So I'm instead just following the parts, but in 2022 instead. So this is how far I was able to get with part 5. So this is part 5 in the middle here. So basically I managed to stitch everything around the outside of this block, and then I've got to finish off the block. So I'll just show you, have I got a picture? So you can see here that there's this tree in the middle. So you stitch all around so you can see the tree. So I'm stitching this on a piece of 32 count white linen from Zweigart, and I'm using the colours 2 shades of blue that were in the model. 3750 is the dark colour and 932 is the lighter colour. So yeah, really enjoying that. Now the only thing is that this wasn't down to be worked on again in May, which is going to get on my nerves in the sense that so far in 2022 I've been completing a part every month. So if I don't complete that block in May, then I'll have June and May to do, and I don't really want to do that. So what I've decided to do is change one of my whips. So next week I was supposed to work on Christmas Birds by Al Forest Embroidery, but I've decided that I'm going to finish this, and then if I have some time I'll work on Christmas Birds afterwards. I don't know whether I will, because that may be 4 days worth of stitching, but we'll see how it goes. But yeah, that's the plan, because I just don't like the fact that that isn't finished. That block needs to be done. Yeah, I want to keep on target with that one. I want to get to the end of 2022 and to be working on the December block in December, and for it to be finished by the end of the year. That's my plan, because I'm desperate to have it up in the house. Yeah, I've got a particular place in the hallway that I think it will look lovely, and yeah, I'm just desperate to have it up, basically. So that's that one. And then yesterday on my birthday, I started I had my second new start of Stitch Maynia, and that was Hello Sunshine by Caterpillar Cross Stitch, and I'll put a picture on the screen here, one of the two, of what that's going to look like when it's finished, because I don't have, the chart doesn't come with a finished photo. I've actually got really far on this, so I'm stitching this on a piece of 14 count white Ada, and I'm using all the called for DMC, and this is where we've got to so far. So the reason that I've managed to get so far with this is because I was stitching on it during the training that I did today. There were obviously points where I had to do some actual marking, you know, respond to polls and go in breakout rooms and things like that. But there were also lots of bits where I just had to listen, or there were like waiting periods in between while other people were finishing off. So it gave me the opportunity to do some stitching. So yeah, I've managed to get quite far on this in a day and a half. The bee looks so cute, and just the colours on this are so lovely. So yeah, I'm really, really enjoying it. So yeah, I don't know how far I'll get on that in the next day and a half, but we'll see. It's just such a cute pattern, and I'm just so glad that I've started getting into Caterpillar cross stitch, because I think they just have some really lovely stuff. So that's that. So that's everything that I've worked on over the past couple of weeks, and that's sort of how I've been getting on with Stitch Maynia so far. So a bit of a change of plans in the middle. And I did mention that the Touch of Magic Stitch Along by Caterpillar Cross Stitch is starting on the 23rd of May. So that's not next week, but the week after. Again, not quite sure how that's going to fit in with my plans. I don't know whether I'll have the opportunity to start it at that point. I don't know, we'll see. I'll come back and tell you how I got on with that one, basically. But yeah, so they're all of the things that I have been working on. So should we get into a little bit of haul? So yeah, so like I said, it was my birthday yesterday, and I did ask for lots of sort of cross stitch related bits. And yeah, I just had the best time opening my presents yesterday. So my husband got me this. So this is by the Daylight Company. It's a craft lamp. And this is the Magnificent Pro 3-in-1 magnifying lamp. So basically I chose this one for a few different reasons. The first reason that I chose it was because it's flexible in terms of how you can use it. So you can have it as a stand-up lamp, which is how I'm using it at the moment in the living room. But you can also convert it to a desk lamp and also a task lamp as well. So you just unscrew it basically from this big long pole, and then screw this bit back into the base again, and then it turns it into a desk lamp. It has the on button is up here, and this bit is a flexible arm, so it's quite discreet as well, in the sense that I've got it down the side of the sofa by the wall, and what I do when I finish stitching in the evening is I bend the arm, and it sort of sits down the back of the sofa, so you can't really notice it that much. But to be honest, because of the white and grey, it's quite a nice design anyway, so I don't think it would look too technical or out of place with your decor, but I think I just prefer to have it tucked away. It's got 3 different light settings, so when you switch it on, it's on the brightest setting, and then you press it twice more and it goes dimmer, and then if you press it again it will go off. And then it has this magnifying glass at the top, so the light comes out of this bit round here, and then you get the magnifying glass. And I haven't actively used the magnifying glass, but I did kind of put my stitching under it, and it's pretty good magnification. And then it comes with a cover to put over the magnifier, so that you know, you don't burn your furniture if it gets indirect sunlight. So it's really important that you put the cover on it. But I'm really pleased with it so far. It was £85, I think. So I only put it up yesterday evening, so I don't really have... I can only give you my review from yesterday evening and this morning. But I am really pleased with it. If you would like me to do more of a review on this, let me know and I will, either in a separate video or on the end of one of my other videos. I'm very, very happy to do that. So I got that from my husband, which was really lovely. And then I should have showed the other stuff first. I had some stuff before my birthday came along. But I was excited by my birthday. What can you do? Okay, that's also... Oh. Then I got... my sister bought me a couple of things from Lush, and then she bought me this kit from Mill Hill. And I've not done a Mill Hill kit before. I've done some beading, but I've not done beading on perforated paper, which this is the kit. It comes with all of the thread, it comes with the beads, and it comes with a button. But I'd had this one on my wish list for a while. I've been looking for a Mill Hill kit that I wanted to do, and it's a bit, you could argue it's a bit more of a complicated one, but I don't know. I think they all are, to be honest. But I just really like the autumn scene. Yeah. So I got that. I'm really, really excited about doing that at some point. Probably not for a couple of months, because I want to kind of do it when autumn is coming around. So maybe at the beginning of September or something like that. But I got that one. And then my mum was really, really amazing. She bought me some absolutely lovely things. So first of all, she bought me a covered button kit, which I've been wanting for a while. I did give her a list of things that she could choose from. I don't think she'd have bought me things like this otherwise. Yeah, this was just from Amazon, and this is for small buttons. And then you can get a kit for bigger size ones as well, which I will get as well. She also bought me, just come around for this, a bag for my sewing machine. So it's really heavy because it's got my sewing machine in it. This is what it looks like. This was also from Amazon. Quite hard to get it in the screen. Here we go. It's got a zip at the top. Can't see me now. It's got a zip at the top, and that's where my sewing machine is. It's got pockets in the middle. It's got pockets in here, and in here at the moment I'm keeping the original case. It comes with like a really flimsy case, and the instructions for the sewing machine, because even though I know they're in my craft room, sometimes when I'm using my sewing machine I want to look something up. It takes me ages to find the instruction booklet, so I just figured it would be better to keep it in here. But actually I also thought as well that this would be a really good bag to take on a retreat. I have actually booked to go, oh god, on a retreat in March next year. It's called the Essex Needles Retreat, and Teresa Little Stitcher runs it with Ellie Stitcher. I'll link both of their channels down below. Yeah, I managed to get onto it. So I figured if I take my sewing machine out of this would be good for putting a few projects in, and sort of just carrying this around with you. You know, transporting from your room to the place where you're going to be stitching. I thought that would be really cool. Yeah, let's take this big thing off of the table. But I'm really pleased with that, because I wanted something that would like protect my sewing machine, keep it from getting dusty. I do keep it in the cupboard anyway when I'm not using it, but still like something that will contain it, as it were. And then she bought me a few kits. So the first one is this Bothy Threads kit, and it's called Birds Waders, and it's by Der Wentwater Designs. And I saw this, I'm going to have to look back in my notes because I can't remember her name. I can remember the name of her channel and not remember her name, which is dreadful. No, I mentioned her channel, oh here we go, in February. It's Hayley from the Stitching Cabin. She, in her first Flosstube video, she showed her finish of this, and it was just lovely. If I was looking at this in a shop today, I wouldn't have picked this up. I don't know, like a lot of Bothy Threads kits just don't really appeal to me. And just looking at it like this doesn't probably wouldn't have appealed to me, but seeing her finish of it, it's so beautiful. It's got all these really lovely coloured threads, so you can see here at the back, here are all the threads. There are some metallics in here, and there are also some beads in here as well. So it comes with the fabric, which is 14 count Ada. It's that's in a white colour, and a couple of needles, a tapestry needle and a needle for beading as well. So you get everything that you need in here. Yeah, that's going to be really good. Really looking forward to that one. The second one that I got was Hello Pumpkin from Caterpillar Cross Stitch. So I want to do all of the trees, and so I asked her to get me the kit for Hello Pumpkin, and she did. So this is the autumn tree. I'm sure you've seen it before. And this comes with a piece of 14 count Ada, because I'm stitching Hello Sunshine on 14 count white, so I wanted them to all be the same. And these are all the DMC threads pre-sorted for you. I didn't get the needle minder. I just thought that was something that I didn't really need, and maybe I'll get the needle minder later, I don't know. It just added, I thought, an unnecessary expense on top. But yeah, so I think I'm going to keep each one of those. So when I finish Hello Sunshine, I'll start Hello Pumpkin. I think that's kind of how I'm going to do it, and then I'll get the other two. And the last kit that she got me, this is probably the one I'm most excited about, although I'm really excited about those two as well. But it's this one. This is called Daydreaming by Mareka. I've probably really butchered that. I don't know, is it a Dutch company? Oh no, made in Poland. That doesn't necessarily mean it's a Polish company though. I don't know. Anyway, Jemima from the Rocking Stitcher showed this in her whip parade at the end of 2021. And I fell in love with it then. I put it on my wish list, and yeah, so I got it. Look at how beautiful the image is. My husband and I have got a bit of a thing about foxes anyway, so I love the fact that it's a fox. And then these beautiful flowers and the butterflies. It screams summer. It's just so lovely. And again, it comes with all of the threads that you need pre-sorted. And there is some it's like an ecru colour Ada. I don't know if you can see it in there. I am so looking forward to doing this. This is a full coverage though, so it is going to be a challenge for me. But I've got that other full coverage that I want to start soon. I'm in the middle of, that's kind of one of the next things that I want to kit up. So it doesn't put me off, but I need to be careful about how many projects I have on the go at the moment, because I seem to be not getting out of control of it with it. I don't feel stressed or anything, but I want the opportunity to be able to work on things. And I think maybe I'll talk a little bit about my rotation. I'm going to write myself a note towards the end of this video. But yeah, absolutely so excited. So they're the things that I got for my birthday. I do have a bit of birthday money, so I have some things in mind that I want to get. Just kind of like need to sit down and really think about what I want to get out of my birthday money. So maybe in the next video I'll show you some of the things that I got out of my birthday money. I think they're all cross stitch, but I don't think I'm going to be spending any of my birthday money on anything other than cross stitch. Maybe that's a bit obsessive, but that's what I like at the moment. So yeah, so then right, so let's talk about Stitchy kindness first. Or actually no, this is actually a giveaway. So I won a giveaway This is sort of like a Stitchy kindness as well though. So I mentioned Laurie a lot on my channel. Laurie for Once Upon a Stitch. She's one of my favourite Flosstubers and she's so lovely. She did a giveaway on her, not last video, but the one before. And I got an Instagram message from her to say, oh, you won one of my giveaways. You know, I'm not going to tell you which one, watch my video to see, but, you know, let me know what your address is, sort of thing. And the one that I won is this one. This is called You Had Me at Flamingo by Hands On Design. And it's this cushion, but you also get the how to stitch these things in here. So, by the way, my fingernail looks dirty, but I've just pinched my skin. I've bruised underneath the skin basically. So every time I look at it, it looks dirty to me as well, but there we go. So, yeah, she sent me that pattern. And I remember when she stitched this was on my wish list until I won it. And I remember thinking, love the colours in it. And I just love the sentiment. So I'm not sure if she stitched the letters up here. She may have left those out. But it's lovely. But she also included, as a bit of Stitchy kindness, this pattern, which is Jolly Claus and Merry Mrs. Claus from Stitching with the Housewives. And I remember when she finished these two, I think it was very, very recently. I don't think she's fully finished them as far as I can remember, but she's definitely finished the stitching on them. And these are really cool. I've not stitched a pattern from them before. So yeah, a couple of Christmas ornaments to make. I'm really excited about that. So she sent me a lovely note. Yeah, she's just so lovely. So they came in the post this week at some point, a few days ago, I think. So yeah, I'm really excited to have those. And then the other bit of Stitchy kindness that I got. So I don't know whether some of you remember me saying, but a couple of months ago, one of my viewers got in touch with me. Her name's Megan, and we follow each other on Instagram. We talk, I think, and we talk a lot, a fair bit now. She got in touch and said, oh, I make grime guards, you know, are you interested in receiving some? And she sent me a couple in the post. She lives in Arizona. She lives in America. I got Arizona wrong. I don't think I have. And she sent me a pattern of which, like, as a surprise, which I was just totally blown away by. So anyway, I put a thing up on my Instagram stories quite a while ago now saying that I was interested in buying some of the Brenda wordplay patterns, but I couldn't find anywhere in the UK that sold them. So, you know, does anybody know of anywhere I can get them in the UK? And anyway, Megan messaged me back and said that, you know, tell me which ones that you want and I'll order them for you, and just send them across to you. So I said, oh, that'd be really lovely if that's okay. So I said, I'm just going to get a couple at a time. So I sent her the money for January and February, and a package came for me last week. I think it was on Tuesday. Yeah, and it was a big package, and it said it was from America, and I haven't ordered anything like from America. What is this big package? And I opened it, and Megan has totally outdone herself again. I just was blown away by her generosity. So she sent me the January and February patterns. So they're little pillows, and they have sort of like words on them relating to the month, and then a couple of images. So that's January, and this one's February. But she also sent me March, April, and December. When I tell you that I was blown away, these are not cheap patterns. She said, I said, Megan, you didn't have to do that. You know, she said, oh, you know, I didn't want them to travel like alone sort of thing. Might as well order more while you were there. Megan just blows me away with how lovely she is, how kind she is. I just can't get over it. But not only that, she sent me my first project bag. She made this. She said in her note, and she sent me a lovely note again on this beautiful note paper, wax seal. She just blows me away. She said in the note, oh, you know, don't look too closely at it. It's sort of my first attempt. But look at it. First of all, the fabric. It's got this lovely pink fabric on the outside and this lovely blue fabric on the middle. And then we've got this vinyl. And she's quilted it. I mean, to me, it looks professional. It looks so good. So I was going to keep my wordplay patterns in it, but I'm keeping a different pattern in it at the moment because I think I'll get around to stitching that before. But Megan, you are incredible. Yeah, it was just so lovely of her to send them to me. I think with these wordplay patterns, her and I are going to do a stitch along of these when we've collected all of them. So if anybody wants to join in on that, you know, and you've got the patterns or you want them, you can start kitting them up. For me, they look a bit prim for me at the moment, so I'd quite like to brighten them up. If anybody has done that, either by changing the fabric or the flosses, please let me know. I'd love to see some pictures of them or just some information on what floss and fabric you use. Otherwise, I think, yeah, I will definitely be thinking really carefully about what I do with those. But I'm really, really excited to have them. Yeah. Megan, you blow me away. Absolutely flabbergasted. So I'm going to stop talking about that now. I think I've got on about that for quite a while, but yeah, just, you know, when people are so kind. Yeah. I think sometimes it's easy to lose sight of the kindness in the world, because I think we do come across a lot of hate and a lot of, you know, negativity. So to focus on the positive and on people that are so caring and so kind is just, yeah, you've got to highlight that all of the time. And then I just have a few other things to show you. So firstly, on D-Stash on Facebook, I picked up this, which is a Dimensions kit called Be a Light. This isn't a petite, but it came fully kitted up. I haven't opened it, but yeah. So it's got everything you need in there. It's got navy Ada, 14 cap navy Ada to go with it. But I really liked the mason jars on that one, so I got that. I picked up some fabric for, I've got a big post-it note stuck over the picture, the Heartfelt Stitch Along from Fat Quarter Shop. This is what the final picture is going to look like. Release 4 came out a few days ago, and I think there are going to be 6 releases. So I really like the colour palette in here. So I picked up, and this is done on a piece of sort of like gingham fabric by Fabric Flair. I couldn't find that anywhere in the UK. So I'm going to do it on a piece of 14 count white Ada. Nice and simple. Because I just think the colours are really going to pop on that. So I got that. Then in the same order, I wanted to get a piece of fabric for Autumn in the Village by Stony Creek, and one of the butterfly fairies. So I showed you this a while ago. Sorry, I've got post-it notes all over it because I've got like floss numbers. Let me just take those off for a second. So I thought I'd start by stitching the day fairy, but I wanted to buy a piece of fabric first. Let's stick my post-it notes back on. So in here is a massive piece of 28 count even weave from Zweigart in the colour Antique White. I'm not going to take it out because it's just Antique White fabric. But there was enough for Autumn in the Village, and I think there's going to be enough for both of those. I've cut off the bit for Autumn in the Village, but I haven't cut up the rest of it for these ones yet. I've still got to do that. So, but there's a fair bit of fabric in there. So I think I'll be able to do both of them, which will be really good. And the last thing that I've got to show you is I kitted up this project, which is called I Love You, I Know, which is a Star Wars quote. And this, I can't remember the name of the shop now. Is it going to be on here somewhere? No, I will leave a link in the description box to this, to where I found this on Etsy. But it's basically done with DMC 310. But I wanted to do something a little bit different. So, not hugely different, don't get me wrong. DMC do these, on their 14 count fabric, they do some mottled fabric. And this is the colour Sunset. Take it out of the packet so you can sort of see. Take a piece of sellotape off, I don't need that. I like the fact that they've edged it. Can't think of the right word. But yeah, it's this really sort of seeing through it at the moment. What can I do? So it looks hand dyed. It's probably not hand dyed. Hand painted, maybe printed. I don't know. It's white on the back, but I really liked the colour of that, and that's sort of like my first foray into like different coloured fabric. I've not really delved into that at all. So I got that to do it on. I also, instead of getting DMC 310, I bought a sulky 12 weight in black. So some of you, I think a lot of you will watch Brenda's channel, Handwork Maniac. I've watched all of her videos. I love her channel. She does some of her projects in sulky, and she talked quite a lot about what sulky was like and things like that. This is the 12 weight, which apparently is equivalent to 2 strands. So in terms of coverage, I don't know, looking at that now, I'm not convinced by that, but I haven't compared it to DMC. So and you get 200 yards in one of these little spools, and this was something like £3.10 or something like that. So yeah, so I figured I'd give it a go. I'll see how I get on. I'll let you know what I think. But yeah, I just wanted to give something different a go, basically. So I got that to kit that up with, and that's all kitted up now. So that was everything that I bought over the last couple of weeks. That's quite a lot. Although I didn't buy all of it. Got some presents, and yes, some really lovely people gave me some presents. So yeah, I think I'll just talk a little bit about my rotation moving forward. I've been thinking about my rotation, and up until now I haven't had lots of whips, and I'm not going to have loads of whips moving forward, but after Stitch Maynia I will have a few more on the go. And I really like excuse me, sorry, I really like Laurie for Once Upon a Stitch, her stitch rotation. What she does is she works on something for 2 days, and then she puts it away and works on something different for the next 2 days. And she has like a list that she does every month where she plans out what she's going to work on like each couple of days. So I quite like the idea of rotating through my whips and touching them all a couple of times a month. So I think I'm probably going to try that out in June. You know, I'm sort of doing a bit of a version of that for Stitch Mania, and I think it's working really well so far. That's not to say that if I get excited by a project, I'm necessarily always going to put it away after 2 days. Because sometimes when you're coming towards the end of a project, you want to keep going with it to finish it off. And I think I will allow myself to do that. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. And I think the other exception that I will make as well is for my Fruits of Plenty stitch along, because 2 days isn't enough to finish a part. I need 6, 7, 8 days to finish off a part. So I think I will definitely take a week's worth of cross stitch and just concentrate on doing that every month. But otherwise, I think I'm going to try that rotation starting in June, and see how it goes. Yeah, and I'll let you know what I think. It's interesting hearing what other people do. Sometimes it's nice to be a bit more sort of loosey-goosey and I'm just going to work on whatever I feel like. And that's not to say that I'm not going to do that at all. I just thought I'd try it in June. I just thought I'd try it, see how it goes, and see if it suits me. But yeah, so I think that is everything. I also wanted to ask, just before I let you go, I had a lovely message from a lady on Instagram asking me for some advice on how to keep the back of her stitching neat. She said that she was new to cross stitch, or that she picked it up again after a number of years. I can't remember exactly what she said, but I sent her a list of things to try, and I did say to her, oh, this might be something interesting to do a video on at some point, you know, how to start and finish things on your work to keep it looking neat, on the front and on the back. I know people don't always worry about the back, and you don't need to worry about it, but I think in some ways keeping the back of your work neat keeps the front of your work neat. That's not always the case, but I think it is the case for a lot of the time. So I wondered how you guys felt about that. Would you appreciate a video on that? Do you think that would be a good idea? I've added it to my list. I think it will be something that I do at some point. Like I know a few people said to me they'd like to see a bit of a tour of my craft room, and I have got that on my list. It's just finding the time to do extra Flosstube videos is not easy at the moment. I might try and do a few in the summer holidays. I know that's a while away now, but just because I've got like a block of time off and Stefan is here as well, so yeah, like if Bella wakes up or whatever, because I tend to film while she's asleep, then it doesn't matter. I can sort of continue on, sort of thing. But yeah, let me know what you think of that idea, whether that would be useful. I'm happy to sort of give any advice. I'm not an expert on anything. I said to you in my first video, I have been stitching for a number of years, but I'm by no means an expert on anything cross stitch related. It's just sort of what I've picked up and learned over the years. So yeah, you can let me know what you think of that idea. So I'm going to let you go because I've talked for quite enough. I hope you guys have a lovely couple of weeks. I should be back in a couple of weeks' time. I'll still be doing the marking at that point, but hopefully coming toward the end of it. I've got 3 weeks worth of marking to do. So yeah, I should be back in a couple of weeks' time. I look forward to seeing you then. I hope you have a good couple of weeks. I hope the weather where you are, certainly if you're in the northern hemisphere, is good for you, treats you well, that you get some good sunshine. And I hope you enjoy your stitching over the next couple of weeks, and I will see you very soon. Bye.